Dane was the first internet comedian.
Andrew Schulz trying to take his credit.
And Russell was the first guy to, I think it's weird.
So I do know that water, so they're putting fluoride in it, which affects your pineal gland.
Right.
It calcifies it so you can't see the truth, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just at the dentist and I had the tooth, just for like a regular cleaning. I do it twice a year. And they asked me, usually I do the fluoride wash because fluoride helps prevent cavities.
Yeah.
So that's a good reason. But there's so much fluoride, and if you live in a big city, the chances are you have a lot of fluoride in the water stream anyways. So you're good. Your teeth are coated in fluoride, but there's the opposite effect. If you get too much in your bloodstream, you're right.
The public thinks it's good for your teeth, but it actually causes dental fluorosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's spots on your teeth.
I didn't know that.
It comes from fluoride, so it's actually not good for your teeth.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that either. I just knew that, I heard that it does have hormonal effects, right? Like something, I don't know if it's directly the pineal gland, that is an important gland, but I know that it somehow has some kind of like downstream biochemical effect on your hormone levels. That's the only thing I knew. I just imagine that for your teeth it's good, but for it's kind of, everything's like, that's the thing these days, right? Everybody's like either doing keto or vegetarian or vegan or whatever, and it's like the reality is like, first of all, nutrition is such a messy science. Everybody's different, but also like anything in life, it's all about balance, right? Too much of a good thing is also not good, and too little is not good. You got to find the balance in everything you do, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good. You know a lot about nutrition. See me, when I drink water from plastic, I know I'm conscious that it's gonna make me tired. But however, I'm still gonna install a $350 filter,
yeah.
reverse osmosis.
Hi.
That hello, we're just in the middle. So we're just gonna I'm still gonna install a $350 reverse osmosis at my new spot I just got. I moved downtown from North York.
Nice. Oh, you were in North. I didn't even know you were in North York.
I love North York. I don't like the busy city life.
Yeah, I agree with you. I grew up in North York. I live in Yonge and Eglinton now, so not that far north.
Yeah.
South. It's like Midtown, they call it.
So my spot in North York, I had a reverse osmosis. I have to reinstall another one.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just drink usually, like this is literally just, it's in a metal bottle, but this is just water from the tap. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
You can't, also, like I said, you can't be too obsessed with all those little details about nutrition and stuff. Like you have to, focus on the major things, like get enough sleep, get enough exercise, try to eat somewhat healthy. But like, dude, like have a slice of pizza, drink a beer once in a while. Don't hyper focus on the micro thing. You can over focus on the small things and completely forget about the things that will actually get you 99% of the results, right?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on like the big, like the sleep, nutrition, exercise, the big three, which is like 99% of your health, if you focus on what kind of water you drink, the 1%, and if you give that 90% of your attention, you're fucking yourself in the ass, basically.
I would say yes and no, because we are 90% water. So if you are only drinking plastic water, you're fucking yourself in the ass. You're gonna sleep, because that's chemicals you're putting in your body, and you're 90% water. If that's all you're drinking is plastic water, you're fucking up your system.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Are you a very health conscious guy? I know you play basketball. I've seen you do that. What else do you do for like exercise?
I wouldn't say I'm health conscious. I would say more that I'm fuel conscious. When you look at food, you look at it as, is this food gonna fuel me? Because I don't want to sleep during my day.
Yeah.
Plastic water, yeah, it's gonna make me sleep. But for now, I need to drink water, so I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah.
Pizza, it's gonna make me sleep. But have I been eating greens for 3 days? No. So the pizza is actually not gonna affect me because I've been eating greens for 3 days.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, if you have enough salads, you can fuck up some Twinkies. And
if you've been eating healthy, you eat one Twinkie, you're asleep.
Yeah, the carbs get you, man. The carbs make you feel like, you know, that nice Italian pasta make you feel like those like grandpa.
Yeah.
An Italian grandpa, man, make you feel like Tony Soprano after a second, just taking a nap watching the soccer game.
I'll be honest, I'm liking this podcast from the start. We just been speaking facts into people. I love it.
Yeah, I like to talk about, even for my own podcast. Like I mostly have comedians just because of, you know, I hang around with you guys all the time, so it's just, and you guys are like, comedians are naturally just good talkers and they're entertaining, so I have a lot of comedians on the pod, but I always love having non-comedians and like smart people to talk to about like non-comedy stuff. I love talking more about the non-comedy stuff because I talk enough shop, like, you know, inside baseball comedy when I'm at shows, because that's all we really talked about, like, oh, this guy's doing this show, this is happening. I want to talk, you know, science and whatever.
Yeah.
Not politics though. I don't love talking politics.
So you know a lot about science, right?
Yeah, I have a master's degree in chemistry.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yes. It's been, last August I defended my thesis, but I've done nothing with it. I'm a comedian, man. I got my master's degree to fucking tell dick jokes in basements or attics, you know?
You still went through school, which is a lot of work.
Yeah, you know, I always think about it this way. First of all, nothing is a waste of time, right? Everything turns you into the person that you are. So all the experience I had in my undergrad and my graduate school led me to develop good habits, and that's really what I got from it, is I learned how to work, right? How to conduct myself professionally, how to send emails, how to schedule my day, how to use all sorts of, like, you know, organization tools, and it's, at the end of the day, it's work, right? So I got a lot of skills that I applied to comedy, none of them really on stage. Honestly, maybe even on stage, because, you know, you do work events, you learn how to network and stuff like that. So that's all so important in this business. And what a lot of comedians don't realize, I think, is that, like, man, you're a business, right? The only difference is that you're not selling a physical product, you're selling yourself. You are the product, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a very huge piece of advice I got from Christina, shout out to her, is one of the shows I did for her, I remember we were talking, and she gave me a huge piece of advice. She's like, dude, this is like show business. Underline, double circle, highlight business, because that's like a key word that people forget. They focus so much on the show, and that's huge. Building your act and talent is huge, but putting yourself out there, social media, building a network, connecting with all these important people, and, you know, treating them the right way. They remember, like, if you do well on stage and then you're a dick to them, or you don't take the chance to talk to them, those are two sides of the same coin, essentially. It's you're not leaving a good impression or leaving no impression at all, which are both bad. So you gotta put yourself out there, you know?
So true, so true. That's good advice she gave you. Yeah, it's a show business, so you have to know business. Whereas people who are signed to comedy clubs,
yeah,
they're just getting fucking $10 a show, however much the people are paying. Their whole money is based on the comedy clubs paying them.
Yeah,
they don't
sure.
know the business side. Their mindset is workers. They're not advertising, creating shows themselves.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say no if a comedy club wants to sign me. Like, it's just as long. Well, first of all, as long as they don't prevent me from doing other comedy clubs. But like, I look at any club or show at a bar, or like, no matter how big or small the crowd is, wherever it is, just stage time. And you're working on, like I said, I'm working on my product, which is my show, my material, right? So you look at it as a kind of a means to an end, right? And I'm not, like, at the end of the day, my goal isn't really to be signed to any specific club. My goal is to just get as funny as I can and good at this, you know, stand-up thing as I can be.
Well, when you get to those, let's say, Christina Pazitsky levels,
yeah,
what happens is you just text message or email all these comedy clubs, let them know you're going to be in their city.
Yeah.
And because you have such a big name, you'll draw out 300 people to their comedy club, and you'll be getting paid in like the 10,000s or 5,000 a show.
Yeah. The crazy thing about being a comedian too is that, like, especially now, we're in a golden age of comedy, which is really cool, because there has never been a bigger awareness about, like, the art form, you know, because of podcasts, it's because of, you know, everything that happens online mostly. But the reality is that we are kind of like, and I felt this especially in Austin, like, comedians are almost like rock stars now, which is not necessarily a good thing, because I feel like that's not what we are. We're mostly like weird, damaged people that do this for therapy. But like, like the guys that are there and doing these kind of shows at like the Christina P level, they are drawing out crazy crowds, and they are getting paid like rock stars now, because they're selling it. Like, we have now in comedy, like, I want to even say like more than 10. Like, we have like a dozen arena acts, which is insane, right? In so many different markets. There are guys in Austin, LA, and New York that are arena acts, which is like, what? Like, 5 years ago there was like maybe a handful. And then another 5 years before that, there was like one, right? Like Russel Peters, Dane Cook was the first arena act. I don't know if Seinfeld was ever an arena act. But like, now we got the Dane Cook. He popped off on MSN, then Russel Peters followed, and then after that the floodgates kind of opened, right?
Didn't Dane Cook pop off on Face? Or what was
he was like the first. That's the thing. Like, here's a hot take. Respect to Andrew Schulz. I know he gets enough hate online. I'm not a hater at all. I respect anybody, whether I like their comedy or not. Anybody at that level of success, I respect.
MySpace, that's what he did.
I think MySpace, yeah. He says he was the first like internet comedian. Dane Cook was the first internet comedian that did it a decade before him. He was posting clips online before there was like any platform to post online. He was doing it before YouTube, right?
So true.
Yeah.
You gotta give props where props is due, and Andrew Schulz trying to take his credit.
I mean, no, he just probably didn't think about. Andrew Schulz was like the modern era of that, right? He used shorts specifically, short form content, quick crowd work clips that aren't necessarily like scripted material to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But Dane Cook was the first guy to leverage the internet for sure. It was not, and then even after Dane Cook, there was Russel Peters, because I still remember Russel Peters was my intro to comedy. I still remember like on my iPod Touch sharing like an earpod with my friend, watching his special, right? Like, just in the back of the bus going like, somebody's gonna get a big hug tonight, you know? Like, I still remember that.
The 3450.
Yeah. Man, do the right thing. Man, Russell's great. And Russell was the first guy to do the unpopular I would say to push the status quo on like what was acceptable on stage, to kind of dive into race in the way he did. I'm not saying like before, like, you know, back in those days it wasn't as, you know, obviously you just look back online and there wasn't as many, there was like no cancel culture, people like went hard, right? There was like, there's an HBO interview, it's called Talking Funny, you know, you probably know it, right? With like Seinfeld, not Kevin Hart, Seinfeld, Louis C.K., Ricky Gervais, and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank here.
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
But anyways, Ricky Gervais and Louis C.K. This was in 2013. It was released by HBO. So they looked at it, edited it, and he's like, "This is good to go." They both started talking about like saying the N-word on stage, and they were actually saying it in the interview.
Really?
Yeah, and HBO's like, "Yeah, all good. Just put it up on YouTube." Yeah. But they were all, so it was a different time. But
for the woke culture.
So to my point, Russel Peters was the first guy to like, he was the first guy to kind of exploit that that racial like using stereotypes and stuff in his jokes and stuff like that, in the way that he did, and it helped him that because he's from Brampton, right? So he's brown, so he obviously did all the material about brown people very well, and then I know he has jokes that my dad loves about Russian guys, and he has jokes about every single culture, right? Everybody, he's an equal opportunity stereotype guy, which was really cool.
Racist. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. That's what came to my head, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, he's legendary. It's crazy. Comedy is such a small community. Each and every one of those legendary names you said, I've spoke with them at least 10 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They all give you time. And
they're all
so
around
humble.
it. Yeah. And especially like to their own, like if you're a comedian, I feel like trying to do this thing that they get how hard it is. They're the lucky ones and very talented ones that made it through. But they get what we're trying to do, and they know how it's not an easy road. So I feel like I've only had very good interactions with very successful comedians, which is interesting because, you know, the worst interactions I've had with comedians are with guys that, you know, aren't necessarily very successful. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Those mostly are the ones that hold resentment or whatever. But the people that have made it always give time to guys in our position and are willing to give some advice and to like help out so much. I can't believe what Christina has done for me. It's truly unbelievable. Out of just the kindness of her heart, she's been able to help me out, give me so many opportunities, and like just, you know, for nothing in return, which is just because actually Russel Peters helped her and Tom out the same way, right? Really? Yeah. So when they were coming up, I heard them say that like Russell had Tom open for him in arenas, right? Damn. That was Tom's first arena was opening for Russel Peters.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And now look at where Tom Segura is now.
Yeah. Tom and Christina, they're the people now, and and then they're passing it on, and just that treatment. Like if I ever make it to a level that's even close to that, I will definitely, and already like it makes me feel very like, you know, philanthropic, like want to give back. But I'm in no position to give back because I don't have anything myself yet. But that just makes me like want to work harder and achieve that, because I've seen through them kind of bringing me along what is possible, and that makes me want to kind of like work harder to get there. And it also makes me realize that just feel way less resentful in general about everything, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't hold any resentment to people that maybe might not be very kind to me or not show me respect. And it makes me feel like, like if I ever am in that position, like just it'll make me way kinder, you know?
Yeah, I get
so,
it. I get it.
People are coming in and out. Hey, it's Alan Jalali. What's up?
Don't interrupt the podcast, man.
It's all right. It's fine.
I want to ask you something. So, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
It's so hard to tell, man, because like I see myself doing the same thing, just trying to get as good as I can at comedy in any way possible. Because like, who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll meet some like Netflix agent that will want to give me the special or like some TV show, and I'll blow up. And maybe that won't happen until a decade or two from now. But I just hope that I'm still working at it, you know, because there's peaks and valleys. There's great opportunities, and there's also times where it's tough. I hope I'm strong enough to make it past the times where it's tough and just keep working at it. Because I think eventually, if you keep knocking on the door, those are the people that make it. It's you know, passion and consistency are the only things that matter. If you love it enough to keep doing it, and you don't give up when anybody else would, I think that's the difference between the people that make it and don't. Because even in Toronto, like you see people coming through here. There's so many talented comedians that are like way more talented than me, or even a lot of people that are, you know, like very successful. But it's a matter of time, and I think sometimes it's tough, and people just give up too early, you know?
Yeah.
So I see myself doing it, hopefully. Just keep doing it until whatever.
Yeah.
I can't tell you where I'm going to be in 5 years, man. I have no idea.
Yeah, like, you know what's crazy? A lot of people who are extremely talented, they don't even see themselves as that good. And that's what blows my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have
that.
that.
I'm over here spotting people and letting them know, like, yo, you're good. You gotta fucking do this, do that, do this, Pat.
For sure. And it might not even be that. Like, I struggle with imposter syndrome all the time in everything I do. So, and I think everybody does. And if they say they don't, they're lying. But like, I think it's weird if you think you're good, right? Because that never leads to being good. It's like, if you're satisfied, then what is there to work towards?
That's it.
I think you can't actually be good unless if you're like, yeah, I'm good and, you know, I'm chilling now. I think you have to kind of be your own harshest critic. And like I said, there's balance in everything. You can't do that to the point where, again, you either give up or you're too down on yourself. But you have to be reasonable. You can't, you know, be too satisfied, and you can't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, so true. That way you keep on growing, keep on learning.
Yeah.
You have to have a learner's mindset.
Yeah.
Like Kobe was always learning.
Yes, sir.
He, you know what he would do? He'd always ask questions.
Yeah.
He'd call you up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Just ask you questions. This
Yeah,
is what he would talk about in his interviews. Just stupid questions. And people would laugh at him, but he was always learning and asking questions.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's how he became a great.
True. I'm trying really hard not to say anything right now to get myself canceled, but I'm thinking a few things, but I won't say. But yeah, he's the GOAT. Yeah, I respect athletes, especially, man. I have a special respect for athletes because I've tried my hand at multiple sports and failed. Like, tried to be good, and, you know, like, yeah, I've played. I've done MMA. I've done judo. I've played golf, and I've tried to do these things all competitively, and obviously not been good enough to do much. And I know a few people that went down the pro route, and it's so hard in any sport to make a living off that I have an immense respect, because it's such a results based business. It's literally like, you can feel good, you know, be peaking at the right time, be doing all the right things, but if you don't peak during that, like, whatever your competition time is, it's all results, right? You could be better than the other person, but they just have a good day and they have their A game and you have your B game, and not necessarily the better man wins, right? Whereas I feel like comedy is much more like, if you put in the work, you can have an off night, but then you can just bounce back and have a better set, or, you know, do whatever. So I feel like it's much more forgiving in that way. But you know, it's hard in its own way, kind of thing. I have a immense respect for athletes, because it's all, you know, we're all performers, kind of, to some respect. We're all entertainers. They're entertaining us through their skill and their performance, and we're putting on a more scripted performance, but still it's a performance, right?
I seen one of your best shows you did at Key's Comedy Club was that Mother's Day show.
Right. Yeah.
You came here right after
LA.
You did Netflix is a joke special. Yeah. So you came here with a next level energy. That was crazy. Yeah,
that was fun. I feel like, yeah, it's all, you know, it's who you surround yourself with. Those people level you up, for sure. If you see that high level of performance, like, you see guys that are just so fucking funny, and it's just like, yeah, they're confident. Why not me?
You came here, you told them, it was like all old people in the crowd. Yeah. You told them, whoa, you guys are laughing so hard. Old people are my type of audience.
Yeah.
You guys don't give a fuck. I'll say some racist shit. Y'all are like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I told them I like to perform at retirement homes. Yeah.
That was so good. You're like, I'll say blackface. Yeah. You guys are cheering me
on. It was
on.
also, I think, my favorite part of that set was because it was Mother's Day, and usually people are, like, you know, with their mothers, and it was all old people. So I'm like, are your mothers all dead or something? Why are you here? You know, they liked that too. They were with it, and see that also matters, because not every room. If I say that in any room, like, it won't always fly.
That was so good.
It all matters. The crowd matters a lot too.
That was awesome.
That was funny. Yeah, that was a good set. Those also give you momentum. Those are fun. Yeah.
What was your most favorite set you've ever performed anywhere?
Man, there's so many.
Best time.
I'm, again, like, I very rarely step off stage and I'm like, yeah, I'm satisfied. I always, like, in the moment, I'm like, fuck, like, I missed a tag, or I didn't do that right. But I would say, like, one of the coolest most memorable sets I've ever had would be like the first time I opened for Christina in like a theater here in Toronto. It was the Bluma Appel Theater. It was the first time I did over like 1,000 people, which was crazy. Because like you go from just open mics, bar shows, club shows. If you're lucky, you get like more than 20 people in there to like 1,300 people, and that's a new experience. And that was the first time my parents saw me actually do comedy, so that was special. My parents were there, so that was fun. And I didn't know how I would do. I was like, I guess I'll say this now, but like at the time she's like, hey, like are you cool to open for me? And I'm here like like in my head I'm like, I've never done anything even close to it, and I just message her, I'm like, yeah, no problem, I got this, it's in the bag. And in my head I'm like, fuck. So like I could have I could have ate complete shit, but it ended up okay. And
it probably gave your mom and parents a nice level of confidence.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted them there either. They bought tickets. I bought tickets for them, but I was like, hey, I'm doing the show. And they're like, okay, cool, we're coming. I'm like, are you sure you want to come? Because I wasn't sure. I don't know. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, that's an added level of pressure. Yeah. For all I know, I'm going to eat complete ball sack. And then, so I wasn't sure if I wanted them there, but everything turned out okay, so it was fine. But
you're like, okay, parents are coming. No sex jokes, that's off the list.
No, I did all of that. I did all of that.
Joke, that's off the list.
I did all my material. I didn't have enough material to like be too picky about it. I'm like, okay, these are my best jokes, and like if we're talking about fucking vibrators, we gotta do what we gotta do, So, yeah.
That's crazy. One time, I think it was yesterday, I asked the audience, anybody ever been to that strip club next to the church?
Yeah.
Right, that's right outside. And then one guy said, yeah, and he was sitting next to his mom.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That guy's cool. I like him. I've seen him at a few open mics. He keeps coming and getting better.
Oh yeah, you were here that day.
Yeah, I was there yesterday, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's crazy that
I obviously didn't have too memorable of a set.
he improved a lot.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
I gave him some advice, and I'm glad he took it and went with it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. What was he talking about? P. Diddy, guilty or not guilty?
I think definitely guilty, beyond a shadow of a doubt. If you're a meme, I think that's where we draw the line. No Diddy instead of no homo. People are saying no Diddy now. I think if you're memed, that's where, the public opinion is the biggest jury, right?
That's crazy that there's footage of him 7 years ago beating women up in a hotel.
Yeah, that makes you pretty guilty. If there's footage of you beating the shit out of a woman, it's like, yeah, I'd say guilty.
He had to pay like $100,000 to at least hide that footage from leaking.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, how do you have footage from 7 years and now it's getting leaked?
Yeah.
Obviously you had to pay someone or suck someone's dick.
Yeah.
To not get it leaked.
True. Yeah, and apparently he enjoyed it because that was his thing. So it's not, you know what they say, you really make it when your passion becomes your work. So he made it, bro. If you love sucking dick and you can make sucking dick what you gotta do, respect. But don't do it to, I don't know, what I never actually looked into the allegations. What are the allegations? Is it like rape or like are there children involved?
All I know is Cat Williams called it out before anybody even exposed him.
Yeah.
And so that's crazy. Cat Williams is like, people be telling me shit and I'm gonna expose everyone.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah.
This motherfucker exposed him before anybody else knew about anything. That crazy.
Yeah. I think he did it.
As a comedian, I'm speaking truth.
Didn't he fly to Panama as soon as all this shit came out? That's not exactly the most like innocent dude thing to do. If I rob a bank and then the police knock on my door and I'm in Panama. It's not like, doesn't scream innocent.
So true, so true.
Yeah.
You invested in any stocks?
No, not at all. I'm completely broke. I'm hoping to invest in a junior chicken tomorrow if I'm lucky. I'm a comedian, man. This is what a working comedian is.
That shit just killed me right there.
I make enough to pay my rent, and then I fucking whatever I have left over is I don't remember who it was. Who was the fucking like he just released a special. Dave Attell. I think it was Dave Attell, but he has a line where he's like. It connected to me on a personal level. He's like, people are saying that like AI can replace comedians and do what we do. I want to see AI live off its girlfriend until it makes it. I think it was him, right? Did you hear that? Have you heard that one?
I don't know if that was him.
Okay, it was. It's not my joke. Somebody said it, but
I'll tell you something.
I heard it on the interwebs, and that is that's life right there.
I'll tell you something. If you are gonna invest in stocks, AI stock would be the one.
Is there AI? What kind of it? Like
Nvidia.
what's the company?
Nvidia, I believe it's at $130 right now.
Nvidia, wasn't it higher?
I believe in the future it'll go 2,000. Like 5 years from now.
Nvidia's not AI. Nvidia's like they have processing chips.
It's AI.
Oh, yeah?
They help cars. They help video games. They help robots. They're in all sectors.
Well, they're definitely because I would say that OpenAI is like the big player in AI right now, but I don't know if they're on the market. I don't know.
Yeah, they also help ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's OpenAI. ChatGPT is OpenAI, and I don't know if right, because the thing with AI is that in order for it to progress at the level it currently does, it needs stronger processing power, right? So we're getting into we're using quantum computing chips and stuff like that to be able to keep up with what AI can do, because and at this point the chips are so strong that it's crazy. It's like the more money we invest in it, the more advanced AI gets, and the more fucked we are if we kind of lose track of it. We're letting it get ahead of us, which is not great. But man, that's fuck. I try not to think about this stuff too much because you can really spiral out of control with all of this and become hopeless. But every generation has its problems. Before this it was like nuclear Armageddon, and now it's nuclear Armageddon and AI and everybody's gay. So.
So you're saying you don't have money when you have millions of eyeballs on you on Instagram.
Well, that's one of the ways I make money.
Attention is currency.
Sure.
You can make 100,000 tomorrow by doing a fucking t-shirt drop.
Yeah, but also I don't want to grift off my audience and lose them. At the end of the day, I'm looking big picture. I want to build audience naturally and be able to transition them into all I really want to do is sell tickets. And that's how I'm lucky enough to have a little bit of an audience and put on some shows. I'm going on tour out east soon, July 19th, 20th, 27th, come out, Ottawa, Montreal, Kingston, and announcing more dates. But so I put those shows up, and then some people are already buying tickets, which is great. So I'll make a little bit of money off of that. I do some brand deals, and even if I do partnerships with, I'm even hesitant doing that because sometimes companies ask me to promote their products that I'm not necessarily a fan of, or just post basically just say things that are very unnatural, and just post them on my Instagram, and they offer me $5,000 to make one post on my Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I can do this right now, but then it won't really get a lot of views because it's not necessarily what people are there to see, and how many people will unfollow me. And if I do that every single day, I can do that. I have my email, my inbox is full of companies asking me to promote their products, and they're offering me thousands of dollars to just be like, hey, buy this right now. But if I have even one of those posts a week, how many people will be like, okay, this guy just posts stupid ads and unfollow me? I make sure to limit myself to how much I actually do that.
You want to sell stuff that people are actually interested because you're interested in.
Yes, and I want to, when I do those partnerships, I make sure that it's it's stuff that I actually either use or it's an idea that I have that will come across as funny. Like if I have a sketch idea that incorporates a product in like a more natural way, I'll do that, right? And it's not just, hey, like, you know, fucking buy this, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because I was getting millions of views per video.
Yeah, you were a YouTube sensation yourself.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, and YouTube's much better because you can monetize just views there.
But
you
take this in. For comedy, YouTube monetization doesn't pay well.
Yeah.
Guess how much they paid me for 5 million views on my video?
Let me see. I should be able to guess pretty well. I'll probably guess wrong since you're asking me, but yeah, I think normally if the YouTube algorithm is happy with a video and they can promote on it so they don't demonetize it, 5 million views, you should get like $3,000, something like that.
Yeah, for 5 million views is $5,000 to $10,000.
Okay, yeah.
But when comedy got a hit because of all this, there was adpocalypse back then.
Did they demonetize you?
All comedy channels, they didn't get demonetized, but they took a hit because what happens is the people who do like motivational channels, they get like $10 per 1,000 view, $5 to $10 per 1,000 view.
Yeah,
for
because it's really easy to advertise on those for a lot of companies because they're very clean and cookie cutter.
But let's say for comedy, because we're edgy, comedy is usually edgy, right?
Right. Yeah.
So for 5 million views, I made $9.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna stop uploading after this.
Yeah.
And I just stopped. I still have my
like you
YouTube
said, attention is currency. You can still sell tickets and do all your stuff off of that. But
I wasn't thinking like that at the time.
You have to be careful so you don't get into like the grifter territory because there are people out there that lose their traction and lose their following because they end up trying to over extract from their audience, like really try to monetize and push random shit, and people are like, what is this guy doing? Like they see, and you have to also think about how social media now is so integrated into our society that it's not a new thing anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe back in the day when all of this, like when blowing up on YouTube was new, and there were there was like, you know, a few channels that had over 1 million followers, right? There was like fucking like PewDiePie and like a couple of other people, and consumers were also in the same boat. Like everybody was in new territory, so it was easier to maybe sell something or take it. But now consumers are very trained and like they see through that shit right away. You know what I mean? So it's harder to sell to them now too if you're like peddling some bullshit. You can't just pull one over them as easily anymore.
So true. Yeah.
So it's all. I think at the end of the day, it's all about being genuine, right? Like it is what it is. Just like whatever you're trying to chase, just try to like, you know, pursue whatever your nature is, and then try to ignore whatever happens, and that's not out of your hands.
So but, true. If I knew that attention was currency, maybe I wouldn't have stopped. I would have still had the audience.
Yeah, for sure.
I needed the money, so I immediately stopped doing YouTube. Went to Uber.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I was getting recognized on the streets while driving Uber.
That's funny.
People are like, aren't you that big YouTuber? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
I was like, I need money, goddammit. I'm broke now.
Fuck, maybe I should drive Uber too.
You gotta do something, you gotta hustle, man.
I never understood. I always thought about like driving Uber because like don't you like I heard that I don't know how much you make.
There's no shame in it. You gotta hustle.
No. There's no shame in it. But like, I never understood. Like, I don't know how much you make per hour, but like, you also have to consider gas with the gas prices right now. Is it worth it?
So I'll tell you this, and this is a good question because everybody needs to know this when they're driving Uber.
Yeah.
You don't make any money driving Uber if you have an old car. Because all your money is going to go to gas and maintenance to fix the parts that are constantly breaking on that old vehicle.
Yeah.
You only make money if you have a new vehicle
efficient.
Where it's fuel efficient, maybe
electric,
a battery powered one, you'll benefit. Or if it's not an old car, 2016 up, So that way you don't always have to fix the stuff that break when you're driving somewhere.
Yeah.
So that way you can profit, right? You gotta think, how do I profit?
Right.
And then the other way you can make money is if you do Uber Eats on an electric bike that you don't own. You have to rent it, because if you own it, you're always repairing the bike when it breaks. But if you're renting it, whoever you're renting it from, you sign it that they have to fix it if anything breaks. So that way, you don't have to wait weeks on end for your bike to be fixed because you're renting it.
Right. Yeah, maybe I'll do the Uber Eats.
That's how you
deliver
profit.
on an electric bike. Can't you just walk with Uber Eats too? You can do that.
You can walk it. You're not gonna make money. It's literally you're gonna walk 5 to 3 kilometers for $3 to $2. And some people don't tip.
Yeah.
It's difficult making money driving or walking by Uber.
Okay.
It's difficult making money. I'll tell you a crazy story. This is my, when I was dead broke, I was depressed. This is one of my craziest, darkest stories.
All right, let's hear it.
I was driving Uber on an electric bike, right?
Yeah. I thought you were about to say you went to a Diddy party.
No, I'll tell you. I was driving an electric bike.
Yeah.
That I spent $500 of money I didn't even have just so I could make money.
Mm-hmm.
The first order I got was from Shepherd Young, and it took me all the way to fucking Vaughan.
Oh shit! On the bike?
But this bike goes like 40 kilometers
Okay, yeah. So
an hour, right? It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I go all the way to Vaughan, right?
Yeah.
2 to 5 minutes when I'm almost at the person's house.
Yeah.
My bike breaks down.
No way.
It stops working.
Holy shit.
And so I pull up to the guy's house. I walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I give him the food. It says I only made $10.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm like a 40-minute drive all the way to Vaughan.
Yeah.
I didn't even make no money. I have $500. I still have to pay off this bike.
Yeah.
So I told this guy, like, yo, I didn't make any money. My bike just broke. Here's your food. I had to walk all the way here. Sorry if I came late.
Yeah.
He said, no worries. He hands me $50.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh my God, this gives me hope. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Good people out here.
Yeah, that was nice of him. That's nice.
It was very heartwarming. I took the $50. I'm like, are you sure? You're so kind.
Yeah.
I took it, I pocketed it, and it gave me like a bit of hope to continue.
Nice. That's good of him.
Grinding. Like, it's the kindest thing anyone's ever did to me.
Yeah.
When I was at a very low point.
And it's only $50, right? Think about like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to. He was probably well off and stuff, so that was a kind thing of him to do.
Yeah, it was so kind. It was a gasoline powered bike, right? I'm trying to fix it, it's not working. I go over to TTC. The guy said, if it's gasoline, you're not allowed here.
Oh shit.
So I had to walk home. It took me like an hour or maybe even 2 hours, hour and a half or 2 hours to walk home from Vaughan all the way to Shepherd Young.
Damn.
And so I was like, oh my God, if this is what Uber is, I'm gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
But I just kept going, right?
Yeah.
The bike kept breaking since I owned the bike, so that's why I say if you're doing Uber Eats, you have to rent.
Just why don't you use like a non-electric bike, just a regular bike? Those don't break down. I've had bikes I've had for like decades that I maybe serviced once.
So if you're driving by pedaling, not an electric, you're gonna be fucked. You're not gonna make any money because you're gonna be tired after 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. You're gonna be tired, and if you drive like, let's say 20 kilometers on bike,
yeah,
you're only gonna make like $15.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Uber's fuck, man. You can't make any money doing Uber. That's why you need
Good
electric.
insight.
How you doing, boss? Did you buy a ticket?
Yes. Am I too early?
No, not at all. We canceled the show. I can refund your ticket, boss.
Okay. Yeah, okay, great. I'll show you my ticket.
Sorry about that. No, I'll refund it, boss. Sorry about that.
I'll show you my name.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike Rosen?
Yeah.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. Sorry. Next time, get another one.
So we didn't sell much tickets today, so I had to refund it. We're just filming a podcast. Let me see.
Next time, next weekend.
I'm
tough during the summer.
visiting, so.
Is your name? Let me see.
Mike Rosen, Rozen.
Oh, that's more people.
Here, I'll show you.
You ready?
I said the same thing.
Come right in, come right in. Should we put on a show for them? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys buy tickets?
No.
You guys didn't buy tickets?
Here we go. Here's my name.
We canceled the late show because there weren't any sales.
Well,
but,
we can put on a show for y'all. We're filming a podcast. Would y'all like the show?
No, I like comedy.
Yeah?
That's
Wait.
where someone laughs.
We can go for hours. We got 3 comics here. You guys want a show? Have a seat, have a seat. No worries, have a seat.